Hi, Tiffany. How you going? It's all about consumption. We can look at consumption in so many different ways. Is it right? Is it wrong? Do I want it? Do I need it? Oh, sorry, I've got a bit of a hair going there. You can look at it so many different ways, can't you? The consumption, 95% of the stuff that we buy is thrown away. I'm sure nowadays it's got much better, especially with recycling, especially with the science that we have to be able to recycle, reuse. I mean, we now have plastics in our underwear. Fantastic. We have reused cardboard time and time again, and paper as a renewable source. So we're doing well with mitigating the amount of consumption that we do with the so many billions of people on this earth. And that's a really scary thing because we keep consuming. We waste so much as human beings in certain aspects and certain cultures. I used to work on the cruise ships. There was so much wasted food that we used to throw away. The seagulls used to follow us all the time because it used to go off the ships. And when we were kids, they used to put it on our plates and told us we had to eat it because of all the starving everybody else around the world. We had to consume it. We had to eat it. Never forgetting, of course, that maybe it led us to food imbalances. And we started feeling awful that we had to eat everything on our plate. And then we become obese or fat when we get older. I know I did. So how do we understand the psyche of consumption, the consumption of food, the consumption of goods, the consumption of clothes? How much do we really need? How much do we really want? It's interesting. I moved into a small place, 8 floors down and 15 floors up. And I have to think twice about buying something because I think about having to take it out again. And it's quite a main feat going into a very small place, 8 floors down or 15 floors up. And so you think about how heavy is the thing that I'm going to take in. And so I have to limit myself. And it's been really good to reflect upon limiting yourself from just buying anything and everything. You know, instead of just buying willy-nilly, think about putting that money away to save. Think about putting it in the KiwiSaver. And you hear all this all over the show, you know. Get your life insurance going, get your KiwiSaver going, and don't consume. Actually, they have it right. Maybe we should just save up for something bigger that we want to consume. Maybe it's a house, maybe it's a car, maybe it's a motorbike. Wouldn't that be better? Instead of just spending it on frivolous little things. So what I want you to do, take 30 seconds before you just impulse buy. Walk out of the shop, take a couple of breaths, walk around the block if you can. Or just cross the road, breathe, walk back. Now, go back in. Do you still feel the same way? Do you still feel the same way that you want that thing? Is it useful? Is it going to serve you several times over? Or is it just a whim? Start thinking about those things, and maybe you'll have more money in your pocket. Sure, it won't necessarily help the world economy. However, it might move us to something different, something more renewable. So the consumption. What do I want? What do I need? We all want or need something. We all want or need something down the line. I know I love shoes. I can always say that I want a pair of shoes. Having been in different sizes myself, shoes always fit me. And so with a beautiful pair of shoes, I may only use once or twice because my feet hurt. But by golly, they looked beautiful. And so maybe start thinking about those. Do you really need one? Will you really wear them once or twice? I know I've wasted so much money, as others have, I'm sure, on shoes, on handbags, that you've only used a couple of times. It's a must have them. Can we make do? That phrase isn't really much around nowadays, is it? Always used to be for me. Can we make do? I was reflecting that when I was a kid, we didn't have that much money. Because my feet grew, my mum cut the toes of my sandals off so I could do another summer in them. Do we make do that much? Maybe. Or do we just buy another and buy another and buy another? The amount of plastics in this world, along with the problem with oil, which is a finite resource. How much do we consume? How much do we really need to go somewhere? It's an interesting thought. So have a think about your own consumption. In the workbook, take a moment What do you need? What do you want? What are you going to consume? Have a think about how you feel about that and how you feel about what you really want. Maybe save up and buy something far more worthwhile rather than using the Earth's resources. Make a note. See how you feel. See what you really want. And maybe even limit yourself to a budget. I heard of a book, a lady, I can't remember her name. They decided not to buy anything unless they had to, which was, things like DIY to do up the bathroom or food and clothes. And they saved huge amounts of money. And they realized that they got sucked into so much advertising and so much other things that you had to buy. Populations were telling us we had to buy this, and isn't it better? And it's really funny, it reminds me of my auntie. She was in the supermarket once and she was deciding a particular soap to buy. And this little kid said, well, how do you know which soap to buy if you don't have a TV? Isn't that interesting how we get sucked into consumerism and the adverts tell us what we need to buy? So have a think of yourself. Think of what you need and what you want. Write it down and see if you can go a week without that desire. And do you really need it anyway? Here's a thought.